Hello and welcome to today's GAconf Awards. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone that we have closed captioning available in multiple languages, audio description, as well as ASL and BSL. If you think any of those would improve your viewing experience, please find out more in the description. My name is Tara Velker and I'm incredibly excited to be here today. I'm the co-director of the Game Accessibility Conference alongside my good friend and co-conspirator, Ian Hamilton. Ian has been working hard on the awards, but he cannot be here with us today because of his newly expanded family. So our first congratulations of the evening goes to Ian and his brand new baby. It is a little bit surreal for Ian and I to be here. You know, when we started the first Game Accessibility Conference, I don't know that we ever would have expected that we would expand into an award show. But we're proud to have 10 conferences, yes 10, in 3 countries under our belt that have all worked towards education and sharing how to do game accessibility and uplift the voices of disabled gamers. And to be able to switch from education to recognition of all of the work that has been done is truly amazing. There has been so much learnings that has resulted in so much amazing work that's going to be done, and only a portion of it is going to be highlighted today. We have a wonderful selections of guests with us today who will be introducing all of the categories, but we have an amazing host who truly needs no introduction. Steve, over to you.
Thanks, Tara. Hi, I'm Steve Saylor, and I am honored to be your host for today. 2022 has been another wonderful year for accessibility, with tremendous progress made in all kinds of areas. We've rocked those Ragnas, fell for those dusks, and went to the west that was forbidden. Funny enough, actually, it just made me think of The Lion King, where Mufasa says, "Everything the light touches is yours." And Simba asks, "What about that shadowy place?" That's what I thought the Forbidden West was. Oh, wait, that's Elden Ring. Anyway, it wasn't long ago that the question on everyone's lips was, what's next? What does a post-Last of Us 2 world look like? I think it's safe to say that that question has now been answered. While the industry is still catching up from the pandemic, there have been amazing accessible games that have been released, and even games that made huge updates, in one case, 5 years after it originally released. I highly recommend checking out Dead Cells. They added a ton of accessibility stuff, and they're nominated today. As we often say, it is never too late to add accessibility in your games. Just like it's never too late to thank our sponsor for this year's awards, YouTube's Captions. Someday they're gonna get it right. As we enter 2023, there are so many opportunities for not only amazing games to be released, but to be accessible to the millions of disabled players that just want to play games, and the hundreds of anime avatars that Ian will get into fights with. All right, okay, enough of me goofing around. We have 18 categories for you today, nominated and voted on by a combination of an expert panel of judges and 1,000 public votes from the community. They cover a wide range to reflect how diverse the contributions to the field are, from best indie effort to best academic research and everything in between. If you want to know more about the nominees and why they were nominated, head to GAconf.com, that's GAconf.com, and click awards. Every finalist has a link to information about their work. They're all great examples to learn from, and you'll find info about how the awards work there too. Now, on with the show. We're going to start today off with a bang, straight in with a category that has seen huge growth over the past few years, innovating, pushing the bar, setting influential examples for all of us to learn from. One of the accessibility high points of 2021's AAA scene was Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy by Eidos Montreal. So to present the winner of AAA Excellence for 2022, we have none other than Emilien Chason, Eidos Montreal's accessibility lead.
Thank you, Steve. This category is for games made by big teams with big budgets, which brings unique opportunities, of course, but also unique challenges too. And as you'll see from the finalists, there is one publisher in particular who has been making great strides across their portfolio this year. So the finalists are Horizon Forbidden West, The Last of Us Part 1, and God of War Ragnarok. And now, for the moment that we've all been waiting for, drumroll please, this year's AAA Excellence Award goes to God of War Ragnarok. Congratulations. The work that Santa Monica Studio has been doing to make this game accessible was truly inspiring, resulting in over 70 features covering everything from directional, captioning to highly configurable contrast modes, navigation assists, intelligent auto-targeting, and more. Those are fantastic steps forwards for the team and also for the industry and for the players, of course. Congratulations again.
A worthy winner indeed. I love that. Huge congrats to Mila and Sam and everyone else at Sony Santa Monica Studio who devoted so much to making this happen. By the way, Sam is officially 2 for 2 in winning the awards for most accessible AAA game with Last of Us Part 2 and now God of War Ragnarok. And I hear he's at Insomniac now. So is he going to go 3 for 3? We'll see next year, maybe. Next, we're heading to the other end of the spectrum. There's a common misconception that to do a good job, you need a lot of time and a lot of money, but that isn't the case at all. For as long as game accessibility has been around, indies have been at the forefront. One of those indie accessibility superstars, and I do mean superstars, I don't throw that title around, you know. Here is Charles McGregor, developer of the beautiful Hyperdot. He's with us today to present the award for indie excellence.
Thanks, Steve. It is an honor to be hosting this category. The Indie Excellence category is for games made by small teams with small budgets, making the most of agility, freedom, and the direct player relationship that working as an indie affords. This year's finalists all are excellent examples of how to leverage that. They deliver a wonderful experience to as many players as possible. They are As Dusk Falls, Sifu, and Return to Monkey Island. And the winner of Indie Excellence for 2022 is Return to Monkey Island. Congratulations to Terrible Toy Box, who truly did a beautiful job with this game, covering everything from impressive text scaling options to things like the hint system and recaps, which are all great for all players, but a real benefit for cognitive accessibility too. And all executed with such finesse, setting a new high mark for the genre. Truly well done.
I absolutely love that. Such a great winner, especially as the series has been running for so long. In line with the game's narrative, the players who fell in love with the original are now much older, and many now have different capabilities to 30 years ago. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Ian wrote this part, and what are you trying to say, Ian? Are you calling us old? Screw you, I'm gonna be 29 forever, baby. 29 plus 10 years. Sorry, what? Anyway, to see such a beloved franchise accessible to so many players, both old and new, is a beautiful thing. For the next few categories, we're getting a bit more specific. Designing for hearing loss is a great example of accessibility benefiting everyone. When subtitles are on by default, statistics from Ubisoft and Square Enix has shown that they're used by 97% of players. So it's vitally important for us to get it right. And to present an award to recognize developers who have been getting it right, who better than Chris Robinson, otherwise known as Deaf Gamers TV?
Hey, thank you so much for that introduction, Steve. Wow, 97%. That's a lot, right? Accessibility for deaf and hard of hearing players has been improving for a while, but there's still a long way to go before it becomes standard. However, developers have been learning a lot from each other. It's getting better now, and these games are great examples to follow for how to do accessibility right. The final nominees are The Quarry, Ooh. God of War Ragnarok. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. And the award for 2022 Best Deaf and Hard of Hearing Accessibility in a Game goes to God of War Ragnarok. Hey, congratulations to the team working on that game. They did a great job with things like speaker indication, visual customization, things like the captions for important background conversations and sounds, and communicating emotion and tone in conversations. It's obvious their goal was to make sure that deaf and hard of hearing players had the best experience possible, just like the hearing players. Congratulations again. Thank you so much and love you.
Congratulations for a second time now to the God of War Ragnarok team. Fun fact, they actually looked to existing standards for the TV industry to inform how they approach this, and it really, really does show. Excellent work, y'all. Games can present a lot of barriers around controls and motor demands in general. Games often make assumptions about ourselves and our bodies that just don't match up with the reality, which is where this category comes in. To present it, we have the fantastic, the amazing, the wonderful, and always stylish Paul Amadeus Lane.
Thanks, Steve. And it's truly an honor to be here. It really is. Hey, y'all remember when Steve became famous on Twitter? Steve and I, we've joked about that before, but in all seriousness, that moment showed just how impactful accessibility in gaming is, and how when we're able to game without barriers, it's truly a defining moment. I've been a gamer for a very, very long time. How long? Well, I'm going to name off some gaming systems. Odyssey, ColecoVision, Atari, Intellivision, and things like that. I became disabled 30 years this month, and there weren't a lot of options out there for gaming. But now we see all new innovation that allows us to game. And all this didn't happen by accident. It happened because of hard work, great minds, and from working directly with our community. So it gives me great pleasure to be able to recognize the people making strides in this area. The finalists are The Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe, Rocksmith Plus, As Dusk Falls, and the winner is of Best Physical and Mobility Accessibility is Rocksmith Plus. Rocksmith Plus really shines in its flexibility. Flexibility in input devices, flexibility in input, complexity and flexibility in the motor demands of gameplay itself. And all achieved in a title that on the surface would appear inherently about very complex inputs and very precise timing. So congratulations to the folks at Ubisoft San Francisco for a well-deserved win. And thank you too. And a thank you to you. And a thank you to all developers working to make gaming an experience that is inclusive for all.
I love the way that Rocksmith Plus not only enables but also supports people in playing and progresses at a level that works for their own personal needs and preferences. If you haven't seen it yet, check out their talk at GAconf.com/archive. It has really great insight into the design thinking that went into it all. Congrats! I think I should probably maybe pick up a guitar. What do you think? The next category is a personal one for me, a topic that is near and dear to my heart. It's one that has seen a real explosion of understanding and implementation over the past couple of years. And here to tell us more about it, that is our presenter for the Best Blind and Low Vision category, the one and only Ross Minor.
Hello. This category covers a wide range spectrum, everything from mild vision loss and color blindness, all the way through to gamers without sight like myself. The blind and low vision community has been banging their drums for a long time, so to have these three finalists achieve the heights of inclusion they have is truly a wonderful thing, and I hope it sets the tone for years to come. Those three finalists are As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, and The Last of Us Part 1. And the winner of Best Blind and Low Vision Accessibility is The Last of Us Part 1. The Last of Us 2 was an incredible landmark, the first AAA game to be designed from the ground up to be fully accessible to gamers without sight, alongside high contrast modes that have already spread to other games. For the remake of Part 1, they not only managed to bring everything over from The Last of Us 2, but built on that even further with audio description for cutscenes, which is a narration track that describes visual action. That's again the first for any AAA game. So for all you other developers out there watching, take note, and a heartfelt congratulations to the team. Great work.
Congrats again to Naughty Dog. Personally for me, what they achieved and are continuing to achieve for blind and low vision gamers is phenomenal. I'm sure a few of you watching... Okay, Ian wrote this one. I'm sure a few of you watching have seen my ugly tears over it before. The impact it has on the community cannot be understated. Ian, you're gonna make me cry again. Dang it. The next area of accessibility is one that so often intentionally isn't considered, but it's intrinsically linked to good game design, and is a great lens through which all players can be given a better experience. This category is the award for Best Cognitive Accessibility, and to present this, we have the wonderful Stacey Jenkins from Ubisoft.
Hi everyone, and thank you, Steve. This category recognizes accessibility for neurodiversity, mental health, and intellectual and learning disability. And as an accessibility specialist with cognitive disabilities myself, I know from both personal and professional life how frequently and unnecessarily games can throw up cognitive barriers, whether it's relating to executive function, reading, sensory overload, traumatic triggers, or vestibular mismatch. And as Steve said, it's really an area where improvements just mean a better game for everybody. So it's really awesome to see year-on-year progress in cognitive accessibility, and this year's finalists are all doing really wonderful work to push the field forwards. So the finalists are Rocksmith Plus, Return to Monkey Island, and The Quarry. And this year's winner of Best Cognitive Accessibility is The Quarry. Games like The Quarry can be really demanding cognitively, with lots of high pressure, precisely timed thinking and reacting, often with disastrous consequences if you miss. But The Quarry is super accommodating in this area, really breaking ground for the genre in terms of the breadth of needs and preferences that the game is able to support, all the way through to completely removing all of the pressure and timing. And it was also a game that I personally played to death this year, pun absolutely intended. And it's awesome to see so many people being able to enjoy the thrill of a horror game. So massive congratulations to everybody at Supermassive Games.
Supermassive has been on quite an accessibility journey over the past few games, and The Quarry is no exception, with wonderful considerations across the board. So congrats again to Supermassive. I can't wait to see what amazing horror games you're going to create that are also going to be accessible. And I, for one, am excited to not play them. I just don't like horror games. They're very hard. The Quarry was an exception, but I don't like horror games. And that brings our first set of awards to a close. We're going to take a quick break for a few minutes, so see you in 5.
Here at Everyone Can, we provide free gaming sessions for groups of disabled children and disabled adults. Every week, we get up to 25 gamers coming to the centre to play together and have fun. We ensure that everyone can game, so if we have a physically disabled child or adult that can't use a regular gaming controller, we can set them up using assistive technology. We usually try and get a gamer to come in for a one-to-one assessment first, so we can set them up with the correct equipment, and then as soon as they come in, we know exactly what they need and we can get them gaming alongside others. For children or adults that don't need assistive technology and maybe have a neurodiverse disability such as autism, Asperger's or a learning disability, it's about getting them socialising, about getting them gaining confidence, making friends and just having fun. At Everyone Can, we've built a really safe, comfortable space where everyone can come and do what they love and game together. Our gaming sessions are always free for disabled children and disabled adults, but that means we need your help. You can help fund our gaming sessions through donations. On our website, you can donate to us at everyonecan.org.uk. You can get involved with our annual fundraiser, Game Together, or you can organise your own fundraiser at work, at home, a bake sale, a movie night, whatever you can think of. Businesses can also help our charity by organising an office fundraiser, or if you select a charity of the year, it'd be amazing if you consider Everyone Can. We also look for sponsorship throughout the year for our annual fundraiser, as well as special gaming sessions we do for children throughout the year, and we need sponsorship to help support those events. There's lots of ways you can get involved.
Hi, this is Connor from Softleaf Studios. This is a quick rundown of the accessibility of Stories of Blossom. We offer a lot of customization for subtitles and captions. We have text-to-speech.
Voice. The voice that reads back the text. Current value, James. Option 2 of 6.
And audio descriptions.
On the edge of his lime green cap is a red hat with an image of an envelope.
The text size can be adjusted, and you can remap controls and configure your input. And if needed, you can play the game with only a couple of buttons.
Sidebar. Pause menu. Backpack. Marbles.
The game starts with a tutorial. You can ask for hints and check recaps whenever you need them. We currently have a demo live on Steam, and if you want to learn more about the accessibility of Stories of Blossom, check out our website at softleafstudios.com.
Our new accessibility team within Unity's core engineering department is looking for a software developer who truly puts users first. Our mission is to develop accessible features for Unity developers on all platforms and take these same features and improve our products like our editor, used by millions of developers around the world. If you'd like to join our team, check out our careers page and look for the software developer posting for accessibility and apply. Also feel free to look at our public roadmap and offer feedback on our accessibility plans. And together we can help make the world a better place with more creators in it.
Hello and welcome back. And now it's time to thank our sponsor for today's awards. Oh, and also please do go check out that roadmap that was mentioned in the break. Just Google Unity Platform Roadmap, then click UI Systems at the bottom. There's some very interesting info in there about upcoming native screen reader support. And a quick reminder for anyone just joining us, we have captions, audio description, and both BSL and ASL available. Info on that is in the description down below. For the next block of awards, we're recognizing some of the things that are adjacent to and complementary to the design considerations in games that we've been talking about so far. For the first of these, we'd like to welcome Jay Justice, fellow Star Trek fan and Mass Effect fan, to present the award for Best Representation.
Hi, thanks, Steve. Realistic, effective, and positive representation of disabled people in games has lagged behind accessibility for a long time. Representation matters. The way disabled people are portrayed or not portrayed in games creates a perception of our lives, which directly affects how we are treated both professionally and personally. We still have a long way to go, which is all the more reason for us to celebrate the progress that is being made. The finalists we're celebrating today are Roblox, Just Dance 2023, and Saints Row. This year's winner of Best Representation is Just Dance. In recent years, the Just Dance games have included both disability representation and songs able to be played from a seated position. For this year's title, they brought the two threads together, hiring professional dancer and wheelchair user Florent Devlesaver to perform the routine for Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. Seeing someone like you positively represented in mainstream media like this is incredibly powerful. Congratulations to everyone at Ubisoft who was a part of making it happen.
Honestly, the results speak for themselves. If you want to check out Florence's performance, just look up Just Dance Radioactive on YouTube. It is so cool to watch. Accessibility isn't something journalists cover, it is something they create. Progress comes from awareness, and a lot of awareness comes from the written word. Our next category is Best Journalist. To present this, I'd like to welcome Vanessa Brassfield, otherwise known as Pleasantly Twisted.
Hello, and thank you so much, Steve, for the introduction. Quality journalism is a critical component to the accessibility field, and these finalists are all excellent examples of how to go about just that, with matured, rounded discourse that both informs and educates developers and players alike. The finalists for the Best Journalist category are Ben Bayless and DualSense's haptics need to find the right balance between immersion and functionality, Grant Stoner and how disabled Elder Ring players are conquering the lands between, and Claire Jackson on consent and compassion, how game devs are reshaping the conversation around content warnings. And the winner for this category is Grant Stoner and how disabled Elden Ring players are conquering the lands between. This was a really bold, nuanced, and specifically refreshing take on a topic that's been talked about time again, but taken even further by amplifying additional voices in the space alongside you. So Grant, congratulations on winning Best Journalist.
Journalism! Oh, Grant is so going to use that title Best Journalist forever, and if he doesn't, because he's too humble to do it, so we need to harass him to put that into his Twitter bio. I don't condone bullying, but in this case, we're going to make an exception. Grant is a force of nature in games journalism, and he won't stop in all caps. I can certainly say from my own experience that this can be an intimidating topic to broach. So congrats again to Grant, well earned. Our next category recognizes academic research that furthers the game accessibility field. The nominating and judging for this category works a little differently because of journal paywalls. So again, if you'd like to know more about that or anything at all about how the awards work, there's info at GAconf.com in the awards section. To present this award, we have the one and only Thomas Weston of Stockholm University, blind accessibility pioneer and founder of the IGDA Accessibility SIG all the way back in 2003.
Thank you, Steve. It's great to be able to take part in another year of celebrating academic research in game accessibility. Accessibility and inclusive design remains a topic that many in the gaming academia have a passion for, and it's been a growing area of research since the early days of the industry. And as you said, I've had the privilege of following the advances made in this field for quite some time, and it's been a great learning process for me. 20 years ago, studies about game accessibility were relatively scarce, but today the challenge is instead to keep up with all the great studies being published. So this year's finalists are all great contributions to the ever-widening body of knowledge, and they are the pedagogical value of creating accessible games, a case study with higher education students by Carla Sousa et al. Understanding the perceptions and experiences of the deafblind community by Arthur Thale et al. And including the experiences of physically disabled players in mainstream guidelines for movement-based games by Liam Mason et al. The winner of this year's award for Best Academic Research is Understanding the Perceptions and Experiences of the Deafblind Community. So big congratulations to Arthur, Leah, Annika, Oliver, and everyone else involved. This research had an impressive methodology with 60 face-to-face interviews across several countries and in languages. It's a very important study, as deafblind truly is a group that is often neglected and encounters so many barriers. So the focus on an underserved demographic like this and at this scale is something to be applauded, providing many new insights. So very well done.
Congratulations again, all, and reminder to everyone out there that academic research may seem like a boring topic at first, but trust me, it is an absolute treasure trove of knowledge for anyone in the industry, and we wouldn't be anywhere without that academic research. So congrats again. While our first set of awards before the break focused on solutions within games themselves, the other side of that coin is solutions outside of games in hardware. One of the leading lights in hardware accessibility is special effect. So to present the hardware innovation category, I am very happy indeed to be able to welcome Dr. Mick Donegan, Special Effects founder and CEO.
Thank you for your very kind words, Steve. As Steve mentioned, I'm Mick Donegan, founder and CEO of the gamers charity Special Effect, a charity with a multi-professional team that helps people with even the most severe physical challenges to play video games. We use the knowledge we gain from our assessments to develop online training resources and collaborate with developers worldwide. Our work is significantly enhanced by advances in accessibility technology, like the ones we're celebrating today. So, without further ado, for the category of hardware innovation, the finalists are the PlayStation 5's operating system upgrades, the 8-bit Do Lite SE controller, and the Microsoft Adaptive Accessories. And the winner is the Microsoft Adaptive Accessories. The launch of the Xbox Adaptive Controller back in 2018 was truly transformational. So to see those same principles live on and evolve further in the form of the adaptive accessories is a great step forward. It's not just in terms of the greater flexibility and access that the accessories provide, but the competitive cost too. Until now, a high quality Switch interface for less than £60, $60 in the USA, was virtually unheard of. So I have no doubt that this suite of accessories will have a profound impact on the lives of many, democratizing access to accessible technology, not just for gaming, but also other technologies too. So many congratulations to everyone involved at Microsoft on a job very well done.
I couldn't agree more. What a fantastic launch for Microsoft and the disabled community. If you aren't familiar with the Adaptive Accessories Kit, please do look them up. They're really great pieces of adaptive hardware. And also we might see Project Leonardo next year, maybe nominated for this award. Leonardo, what do you think? He's shy. Much of the progress made is down to developers sharing information, knowledge, and experiences. That's the one thing I love about this industry is that we're so willing to share accessibility information, and it's not about being competitive with each other. It's just about making more accessible games for everyone and sharing with each other and sharing with players as well. To present the award, we have none other than David Tisserand, Ubisoft's Director of Accessibility.
Thank you, Steve. I'm delighted to present this category today, which means a lot to me. When I started in game accessibility, information was very scarce outside of the game accessibility guidelines, and GAconf was still in its infancy. So it was really hard, to find information if you were trying to learn the basics of game accessibility by yourself at the time. So fortunately, those days are mostly behind us now. There is an ever-growing amount of publicly available and free resources for everyone to learn from and start their accessibility journeys. So the 3 nominees today have all contributed to that growing knowledge. They're all amazing, so please look at them and learn from them for your own work. Now, without further ado, the finalists for Best Resource 2022 are Microsoft Gaming Accessibility Fundamentals Training Course, PlayStation Accessibility Site, and Special Effect Dev Kit. And the winner is Microsoft Gaming Accessibility Fundamentals Training. Congratulations, Microsoft. This is truly a wonderful resource, a gold mine of accessibility knowledge for everyone wanting to get their accessibility journey off to a great start. I wish I had access to it when I started. In fact, today I'm sharing it with everyone who asks me where they should start their journey to learn more about game accessibility. And the fact that it has been made available to anyone who wants it for zero cost is an incredible service to our industry, one that Microsoft should be very, very proud of. So congratulations again. Enjoy the rest of the awards. And back to you, Steve.
Now, if you haven't checked out that amazing resource yet, you should. And extra congratulations to Caitlin Jones, especially. I know this was a huge labor of love for her, so congrats, Caitlin. You absolutely deserve this one. A huge part of gaming for many people is the events for players. Conventions, conferences, tournaments, showcases. In years gone by, trying to attend as a disabled person was pretty challenging. But now that's starting to change. With the pandemic finally opening up, more events are happening. Every year now, we've seen big leaps forward. So on that note, to present the award for Most Accessible Gaming Event, I'll hand over to Mark Friend, Accessibility Lead at PlayStation Studios.
Thanks, Steve. Nice to be here. Access to events like these means being able to get in on the same hype as everyone else, make informed purchasing decisions, and even being able to take part in gaming culture in general, which is a huge part of our society and our lives. So it gives me great pleasure to be presenting this award. But first, the finalists. Ubisoft Forward, Xbox at Gamescom, A11Y TO Gaming, and the winner of Most Accessible Gaming Event 2022 is Ubisoft Forward. All 3 finalists set wonderful examples of how to ensure good experiences for as many attendees as possible. If you're planning an event, please do check them all out, as there's a lot to learn from each of them. But it was Ubisoft Forward that pushed the bar considerably forward this year for online events, with subtitles in 10 languages, 4 different sign languages, and audio descriptions in 2 languages. A great achievement, and congratulations to everyone involved. Back to you, Steve.
Thanks, Mark. And so important to see that scale of progress for online too, considering how important online attendance is for many disabled people. I hope to see more events that offer a hybrid of online and in person as well. So I hope to see that for more years to come, and hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, they'll be even more accessible too. And that's it for part 2. See you after the break for the final 6 categories.
And I downloaded the plugin, put it in, and within about 5 minutes, it just worked. It was Skyrim. It just worked. And it was beautiful. Going from the 4 to 5 hours of pain with the kind of native engine stuff to then just read speaker working immediately was fantastic. I think like it does highlight some things with like, yes, it should be easier to make games accessible in engine, but we have this amazing solution here which works across multiple platforms, and there's amazing range of voices, amazing support, wonderful people behind it. So
Good morning, little man. Guess what? I have a joke. Okay, so what did the snowman say to the other snowman? Do you smell carrots? Get it? Because they're still happening?
Seems to literally drive bugs crazy.
Over 80% of people with disabilities use an assistive device, and 27% need at least one more, often citing cost as a barrier. Makers Making Change is helping bridge that gap. Our community of volunteers design and build assistive technologies you can download and request on our website. If you're looking for a solution, you can browse through our wide variety of devices, like simple bottle openers, assistive switches, and even more high-tech options like adapted toys and the lip sync. Once you've submitted a request, a volunteer maker will respond and collaborate with you to build the device. The best part of this volunteer platform is that you only pay for the cost of materials, no markups, and no inventory fees. Want to volunteer? We're open to makers of any skill level. Get involved in building and designing, participate at events, and help promote our mission in your community. Learn more and join the movement today at makersmakingchange.com.
Welcome back. I'd like to thank our sponsor of this year's awards, Battenberg. I don't have any, which is a real shame that you asked me to host this thing and no one offered to send me Battenberg. I knew I should have made it part of a writer or something. Anyway, I'm also very hungry, apparently. If Kari's video caught your attention and you'd like to know more about that project that her and Sightless Combat have been working on, make sure you check out GAconf Europe in April. They'll be giving a conference talk about it there. So now on to our final block of awards. These 6 are some unique categories to recognize some very special work and very special people. The first of these is about improvement. Games aren't always launched in the most accessible state, but that doesn't mean they have to remain that way. We're increasingly seeing games realizing this later in their life cycle and taking steps to upgrade that experience. To present this category, we have Mark Brown, who many of you know, of course, from the fabulous Game Maker's Toolkit series.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me. In my years of covering accessibility on Game Maker's Toolkit, I have seen the industry change and grow and make a lot of amazing progress. This specific award is about recognizing the progress made by an individual game through things like updates, patches, remakes, remasters, and mods. And so the finalists for Most Improved are The Last of Us, Part 1. Dead Cells Breaking Barriers Update, Deathloop Update 3. And the winner for Most Improved is The Last of Us Part 1. So The Last of Us Part 2 really set the benchmark for what accessibility can look like in a big AAA game. It had over 60 features you could fiddle with, and it covered pretty much every type of accessibility option you could think of. This remake, Part 1, has pretty much every feature from Part 2, as well as some innovative additions like haptic dialogue and audio description. We've never seen a remake add so many accessibility features to the original game. And part of what you're trying to do with the remake is to expand to a wider group of people, and also to appeal to those who enjoyed the original game but are now older and may have different capabilities. And you can't do either of those things without good accessibility. So, major congratulations to Naughty Dog for, once again, showing us all how it's done. It's a terrific achievement.
All three of those finalists are fabulous examples that while it's never too early to consider accessibility, it's also never too late. Congratulations again to Matthew and the team at Naughty Dog for your second win of the night. 2022 has been a year of some really big surprises in the world of game accessibility, and we have a category specifically for recognizing them. To hear more about this category, I'll hand it over to input hacker extraordinaire, and also actually surprisingly accessibility ally this past year, Rudism.
All right, thanks, Steve. Hi, everyone. So I'm always a big fan of seeing accessibility improve, and it's pretty awesome when you see the efforts that people go to push the bar for accessibility in the games industry. Sometimes things just come out of nowhere and surprise you with how amazing they are and what they do for the cause. So, funnily enough, that's what this award's for. This is the biggest accessibility surprise. And the finalists are Apple's Unity accessibility plugin, the Forza team's research carried out in BSL and ASL, and Microsoft's Gaming Accessibility Fundamentals training course. And the winner of this year's biggest accessibility surprise is Microsoft's Gaming Accessibility Fundamentals. Congratulations! Good job, you earned it. So coming out with a resource like this is pretty awesome in its own right, but Microsoft didn't stop there. They made it freely available to the public as well, which is a massive win for the games industry and the disabled community as well. So, congratulations. It's an amazing surprise in the best possible way.
Congratulations again to Caitlin and everyone else who made it happen. Caitlin, that's 2 for you tonight. You absolutely deserve this. If progress continues to shoot off in new directions like these, we can't help but get to an even better place. And now on to a biggie, a topic that is becoming more and more hotly contested every year, and you love to see it. The most dedicated publisher. To present this category, I'd like to welcome a very familiar face in the accessibility community, Sightless Combat.
Thank you, Steve, and hello everyone. I'm honored to be presenting this category. We're in a pretty great situation now with most of the big players in the industry caring about accessibility and making concrete steps to move towards a more inclusive and accessible future for all. Now, I won't keep you waiting any longer. The finalists for the 2022 Most Dedicated Publisher are Sony Interactive Entertainment, Xbox Game Studios, and Ubisoft. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The winner of the 2022 Most Dedicated Publisher Award is Sony Interactive Entertainment. 2022 has arguably been Sony's year, and a look across all the categories and their finalists is evidence enough of that. We now know what to expect from a Sony first-party game, and what can we expect? Something very good indeed.
It really honestly has been Sony's year, not just at publisher level, but on their console, on their website. They've been making really great strides, and it has been so beautiful to see. Again, you love to see it. Congrats, and thanks again to everyone all across SIE and Sony for everything that you do. Hot off the heels of Most Dedicated Publisher, next up we have Most Dedicated Studio. To present the winner for this category, I'm going to hand it over to the uncanny Vivek Gohil.
Thank you for having me, Steve. It's an honor to be asked to present this incredible category. There are so many fantastic studios across the industry full of talented, passionate people doing great accessibility work and thoroughly deserving of recognition. The finalists for this year's Most Dedicated Studio Award are Naughty Dog, Rare, and Ubisoft Kyiv. And the winner is Naughty Dog. For the past 6 years, Naughty Dog have consistently been at the forefront of the industry. From Uncharted 4, paving new ground for AAAs, to The Last of Us 2, blowing the bar way up, to The Last of Us Part 1, now setting the new standard for remakes. Their dedication has consistently driven the industry forwards. Congratulations, Naughty Dog, you deserve this.
Well said, Vivek. Naughty Dog has the reputation it has for a very good reason. Congrats again, team. I can't wait to see what you have in store next. Speaking of which, I'm recording this just before The Last of Us TV show airs, so either A, it's good, isn't it? Or B, maybe they should have added accessibility to make it better. I don't know. I'm excited to watch it anyway, so this is great. Congrats again. That brings us to the final 2 awards of the show, categories that recognize specific individuals. The first is the MVP Award for Most Dedicated Developer. To present this category, it is my great honor, and finally I get to introduce him this time, to welcome the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer.
Thanks, Steve. It's an honor to be part of today's awards. As an industry, gaming has been making great strides in accessibility, but there's also still a lot more work for us to do. That progress is driven by passionate people who push for change, innovate, and show the way for their peers. And so, it gives me pleasure to recognize the finalists for Most Dedicated Developers. Mila Pavlin from Sony Santa Monica Studios, David Tisserand of Ubisoft, and Guy Dev of the Hearthstone Accessibility Mod. And the winner of the MVP Award for Most Dedicated Developer is Mila Pavlin. Mila is an inspiring accessibility leader at Sony Santa Monica with a passion for player experience. Congratulations, Mila, and thank you for all that you do to drive the industry forward.
I couldn't agree more. If you saw Mila's acceptance speech at the Game Awards, you'll know that for her, it is all about the players. But today, Mila, it is about you. Congratulations, and thank you for all the work that you do to drive the industry forwards. It has been a joy to see you shine this year, Mila. You are a treasure. Now go make that Wonder Woman game accessible as best as possible, because we trust you. We trust you. You're going to do extremely well. So congrats again. The games industry would not be where it is today without the tireless work of so many individuals who have dedicated their time to advocacy. Despite the progress that has been made, we are still need these voices, those people showing us the path forward. So last and by no means least, we have the Advocacy Award. The winner of this category last year was Morgan Baker. She is now Game Accessibility Lead over at EA, and we are very happy to have her back again, this time to present the winner for 2022.
Thanks, Steve. This award is for people working in the advocacy space, someone either in a development role or not, anyone who is an advocate using their voice to help make a difference in the wider industry. Many of you will know these 3 finalists, and they're all doing wonderful work to raise awareness, educate, inform, and raise the bar. And the finalists are Grant Stoner, Chris Deaf Gamers TV Robinson, and Aaron Geeky Gimp Holly. And of course, it brings me great pleasure to announce this year's 2022 Advocacy Award winner to be Grant Stoner. Congratulations, Grant. Grant has a unwavering passion for accessibility and ensuring that disabled people have a seat at the games journalism table. And with his regular output through mainstream media like the Washington Post and IGN, Grant has shown the industry that our voices, not just his, but all the other people who he uplifts and showcases, that we are all here to stay. Congratulations, Grant. Thoroughly well-deserved. And thank you for your hard work. This industry wouldn't be the same without you.
This category is always a favorite for me and a great note to close the show on. Congrats again, Grant. Take a bow. Crap, you can't. Anyway, just, you know, bask in this. You deserve it, buddy. I'm so happy for you. Congrats again. And that was the last of our categories, and what a year it has been. On a closing note for me personally, in all seriousness, I can't thank you all enough for doing the hard work that you all do to make games accessible. I jumped into this industry not knowing anything about accessibility and thinking that I just sucked at games, but in reality it was that games sucked for me. And all the work that you've been doing over the past decade or more has really helped make it so that games don't suck for me or the millions of disabled players out there. I've said it time and time again that we can't do this work without your efforts, working either behind the scenes or working in the media side as a journalist, or working on academic side and research, or even just us as like content creators. I can't thank you all enough for allowing me to be a part of this amazing industry. The best work that I can do is to be able to showcase the amazing work that you all do, but then also to be able to add to the voices and the large voice, the loudest voice in the industry right now is in regards to accessibility. And I'm so happy that we all get to join together and be that voice for accessibility going forward. You guys, you folks are the absolute best, and you all deserve an award. Even the ones that you didn't get tonight, you all deserve an award, and not just a participation trophy either. You all deserve an award for the amazing work that you do. So now back over to Tara for some closing words.
Thanks, Steve. To end the show, I want to thank everyone who helped today's award show come together. First, I want to thank you, Steve, because you have done an amazing job being our host and making us smile and laugh. I want to thank all of our presenters who volunteered their time and were able to get these recordings for us. It means so much to us that you were a part of today's award show. And I want to thank all of our accessibility suppliers. For us, it's incredibly important to make sure that the award show about accessibility is accessible. And we wouldn't have been able to do this without Subtrend and Matinee for Captions, Brad Galloway for ASL, MyClearText for BSL, and Descriptive Video Works and Brandon Cole for audio description. Thank you so much for all of your work. Of course, a huge thank you to all of our nominees and for everything that you have done. Without your work, we wouldn't be here today, and you are advancing the field, even if you weren't a winner. You are amazing, and your work is fantastic. Of course, I also want to say thank you to all of our judging panel, to everyone who voted, and of course, all of you today for watching. Without you being here and being interested in accessibility, we wouldn't have GAconf, and we definitely wouldn't have the GAconf Awards. If you're interested in GAconf, by the way, we will be back in April for our UK edition of the conference. Please stay tuned for more information on that. I know everyone is asking us for more details and we are working on it, we promise. We just kind of had this award show to get out of the way first before we could fully focus on it. And of course, thank you to all of our winners. We're going to close out the conference with a montage of all of the winners of all of the awards. So thanks again for being here and see you in April. Final recording. That's it.
I love that. A worthy winner indeed. Huge congrats to Mila, Sam, and everyone else. At worthy winner indeed.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve.
I love the way the Rocksmith Plus not only enables, but also supports people in playing and progresses at a level that works for those. I love the way the Rocksmith Plus not only.
First, we have closed cap. What was wrong? I'm so sick. Okay. Hello and welcome to day 2. Thanks, Steve. This award